Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of DPM TV. In this episode we're going to run you through the Porsche 356 that we've got in. It originally came in for accident damage and then escalated into a bit of a mini restoration. So, enjoy! Right, so the Porsche, when it originally came to us, came in for accident damage. We're going to put photos over these clips as well because we weren't filming YouTube when this originally came in. So you can see from the accident damage that there was a lot of damage to the wing, especially the lower part. You couldn't even open the door when it came in. We've repaired all these panels instead of replacing them. Upon further inspection of the vehicle when we were going around it, we realised that the car had excessive filler in it. Some areas were up to nearly an inch of thick of filler. All the panels underneath hadn't been, beaten or shaped properly. There was rust coming through underneath all the filler. All the door gaps and wing gaps had been made out of filler, so there was no consistent metal gap around there. So this is when we recommended to the customer to have the car soda blasted. When we got the car back from soda blasting, we're going to put the photos over all these clips as well, so you can see the condition it came back in. You'll see how bad the metalwork was. All the door gaps or panel gaps were all over the place. The front panel had about an inch of filler to make those gaps actually meet. When it shut again was just hold everywhere. All the panels were so badly stretched, so thin in areas. There was holes all over it. So yeah, it was unfortunately in quite a bad state. Ideally what I wanted, recommended to the customer, was to then have the car fully stripped down, dip it, engine out, put all new panels on it so they could be gapped properly and you're not trying to patch in all these areas. Unfortunately that didn't meet the customer's budget, so what we've done is patch in a lot of the panels, shape them up as best we can, but when this is extremely hard when the panels are so badly stretched and been tinkered with so much by other people and patched in that there's not much left really to work with. But as you can see from the photos of it, when it goes into Epoxy Primer, we've done quite a nice job and it's all gapped up quite well. We've got a consistent metal gap all around it. Right, so that gives you a little bit of an insight to how the car came to us, what we found when we had it blasted and the metalwork that we did to it beforehand. Now we've got some footage of me gapping up the doors. When we use the term gapping, this is either adding material or taking off material to get a consistent door gap all the way around. You'll see with some of the photos that we're going to put up that the gaps on this car were dreadful when they'd just been made up from all of filler. So you'll see me either cutting the panels, adding weld to it to get a consistent even door gap all the way around.
Since I was a child, now it's showing its ugly face. What can I do? Music creeps into my dreams, wakes me into sweaty sheets, abandons me when nights died out. What can I do? What can I do?
Right, so that is the two doors and we've got a few loose trims in there now that we're going to get epoxied up. So we've bare metaled all the inside of the doors. Epoxy Primer is a must realistically in our eyes when it comes to do restorations. It's a non-porous anti-corrosion barrier, so we put that over all bare metal when we do restorations. We then carry out our filler levelling on top of that, then go through to Polyester Primer, etc. So we're going to get this mixed up and get these panels in there all epoxied up now.
It's what I can do, what I can do, when I want to be with you.
Right, so the doors have all been epoxy primed up now. We've baked them and left them over the weekend. We've now got them skimmed up and fitted back to the car so we can go through the filler levelling process of them and gap them to the shell. We've already started the filler levelling process on the car to make sure those panels are dead flat. Again, you can see when the car was done originally how much filler was in there. This isn't the correct way to use it. You could see all the rust was coming through underneath the filler, and they'd used filler to make the actual panel gaps as well, which again is not what you want to do. You want to have a metal consistent gap all round. So yeah, we're going to get this all blocked down and ready for polyester primer. So that's the Porsche now all ready for polyester primer. So it's all been blocked 80 up to 120. We're now going to remove all the panels from it, get them masked up, but we've got the interior, well the inside of the panels to get prepped up for polyester as well. So we're going to get that done, then get it in the booth and finally get it into polyester primer. So that's the Porsche now, all in the booth and masked. We've got Ellis on to actually masking it. Her hand's starting to heal up a little bit. She's still got a lot of physio to follow. She's not allowed to get back on the tools for another sort of 6 to 8 weeks. But again, being stubborn like me, she wants to actually sort of get back into it. So masking is one of the things she prefers doing. So she got it all masked up. We're now giving it a quick bake. We've degreased it, giving it a quick bake to draw again any moisture out of it. We're going to go around with a wet on wet epoxy just on those bare metal areas. Give it another bake, key those areas up, and then we go on with the polyester primer. So again, the epoxy primer we're using, the whole shell's been done in it, and we've done our filler leveling over that. We're using the semi-mix one, which again you can have tinted to different colours. So we put that on first. We're going to put that as a wet on wet, and the polyester spray filler we're using is the Max Mayo one on this. We have started using the Novel stuff. We bought this in before we started using the Novel stuff. Again, it's still really good. It's not too expensive. Gives you a good build. Blocks sound really nice. So yes, we're going to get that mixed up and start getting some polyester down. that's the Porsche now all polyestered up. That's 4 coats that we've done on it. It's been baked, we've now got it guy coated. Ellis is now getting all the masking paper off it. And then tomorrow we're gonna get it all dry assembled. So again, fit all the panels again. We're gonna test fit some of the chrome fittings that we've got for it. And then it's the big block up, ready for epoxy and paint.
Music got the best in me ever since I was a child.
That's the Porsche now all into Polyester Primer. So what we do next is we're going to now do a full dry fit, get the panels on, re-gap them, see how they look. So yeah, that's it for this episode. So join us in the next one where we do the final gaps check, blocking down for final prime, and then we get on to prep for paint. See you then. So the Porsche originally came. Accident damage is, well, in my head plan what I'm going to say, and it's so hard because I've got a crown to please now. I've got, you know, my awful hairdo. Right, so that's a type of sort of mini resto, but oh, fuck it up.